Hello and welcome back to Fact vs Fiction with Archis and Muhammad. Today is the last day of 2019 and what a year it has been.
Oh man, yes.
Balakot, you had Pulwama, Balakot, elections, World Cup, you had CAA and major protests around
Kashmir.
the country. You had Kashmir, of course, Article 370. And in all of this, there were a lot of fake news.
We've seen our share of it.
Exactly. Some were very disturbing, some were quite funny. And then there were these that were just quite unbelievable. They were bizarre and absurd, and the claims were just unbelievable, but people fell for it anyway. So we decided to do a roundup of the top 10 such bizarre claims that we came across this year and fact checked. So let's start off with a picture, which is an optical illusion of a face of a man made with pictures of animals. Now, it was shared with a claim that if you can spot a little camel in this photo, then you don't have Alzheimer's, and if you can't spot this camel, then you got to be worried about having Alzheimer's. And I couldn't spot the camel at first.
Neither could I.
But
Viewers, do not fall for this. Alzheimer's is too complicated a cognitive disease to actually be spotted by such WhatsApp forwards, and there's no really study. There is nothing academic or scientific in nature that supports this. So please do not believe this.
Definitely don't believe this.
Yes.
Like climate change here, global warming is here, these are very well discussed topics,
Absolutely.
And we know it's getting warmer every year, but has it gotten so warm that cars and street lights are melting in the streets? Well, that's what this image says, which has been shared on our WhatsApp helpline and on social media.
Yeah.
It says that this happened in Kuwait, and apparently the temperatures rose to 63 degrees
Celsius.
after which everything started melting, all the metal started melting. That's
Right.
very hot. So
absolutely, but this is actually not because of some temperature change. So the first image is actually from Arizona in the United States, where a construction site caught fire and everything in the vicinity started burning. So the cars that you can see, they started burning because of a fire at a construction site in the United States. And the second image is actually from Kuwait, where the street lamps started melting. But again, that was due to a fire and not because of some really high temperature outlier. So again, this is not to be believed, and just laugh your way off this.
Also, metal doesn't melt at 63
Absolutely.
degrees temperature. It needs
It's
a
too
lot
low.
more
It's too
heat.
low.
Exactly. So up next, we have a video that was sent to us on our helpline number in April. It shows a Caucasian woman singing the Hanuman Chalisa with a band. Now, this video was shared to us with a claim that says that it's actually internationally acclaimed pop star Madonna who's singing the Hanuman Chalisa. Of course, a lot of people went crazy over
Absolutely.
it. It went quite viral. It's like, is Madonna really singing the Hanuman Chalisa?
And that looks a lot like Madonna, to be honest.
So, but is this
Well, looks can be deceiving, and while we wish each and every singer were Madonna, this is actually not the case. So this took place in Ukraine, in Kiev to be specific. Now the singer's name is Uma Devi, and she's part of a band called Shanti People, which mixes Vedic mantras with contemporary electronic dance music. So it's the best of both worlds, a perfect blend. And while you can revel in this music, it's definitely not Madonna.
Okay. So, moving on.
Yes.
There was this claim that got really viral once this year. It said that if you make out in the backseat of a car, then you can be officially fined. Now, we know that public display of affection is frowned upon in India. It's just not something people do. You will be threatened with, we'll tell your parents if you do this, by cops, by anybody else in the streets.
Bystanders and
Exactly.
people who are not.
But is this official?
Oh, absolutely not. So the crux of the story was not about actually making out in the back end, more like it was actually wearing your seatbelt in the back seat. So that was the crux of the story, and not that one can be fined by making out in the back seat. So please go ahead and read the content, and do not fall for such headlines alone.
Yeah, it's very clickbaity.
Absolutely.
Up next, this is something which became quite viral in March when campaign season was on full-fledged, and just before the elections, and these videos came out showing Modi apples, and the claim is that this brand of apples has been started in Australia.
Yes.
And has been dedicated to Narendra Modi. What is the truth about this?
Well, Modi is apparently not an India-centric name. So the stickers on these apples were actually that the inspiration behind them was a man named Modi Armadillo Clemente Modigliani, who was a 19th century Italian painter, And he was actually the inspirations behind the sticker. So there is not one standalone Modi in this world, especially not Narendra Modi, because this Italian painter, another Modi, a 19th century one, was the inspiration behind this particular sticker. So not the Modi you think it is.
There are more Modis than you know.
Absolutely.
Up next, now this is something that became viral during the World Cup. Very bizarre. This is photo that came up, and it had this caption that said "Niche dekho, Shastri ki kursi ke niche dekho." As you can see, a photo of Ravi Shastri with the Indian cricket team. And if you look closely, you can see a bottle of Jack Daniels hiding under. Now there are a lot of rumors about Ravi Shastri's drinking habits. But did he carry the bottle out in the photo?
No, he's not. Please look at that closely, and you can clearly see when compared with the original one that this image has been placed there using Photoshop, and it has just been chipped in. He did not carry a bottle of Jack Daniels as part of the team photograph.
Yeah, I mean, he may have alcohol problems, but he's not bringing it out in the stage and right on the field, you know. Up next, we have a video, very absurd again. It went viral in October. Now, in this video, which looks like a scene out of a film, where you can see a baby born with wings, and as the footage progresses, you can see the baby growing up and slowly learning how to fly. So, you know, I mean, you might think that, oh, Mail, this is not true. A lot of people send this to us on our helpline number,
and they believe
asking us, you know, wow, is this really true? So, is this true?
Well, so if we were in the X-Men universe, sure. But perhaps movies should stay where they are, and this still is straight from there. So viewers, if you want the truth, we encourage you to watch a film called Ricky by French director Francois Ozon, and this scene is straight from there. So you have the movie, you have the director, and you have the title. All you need is a bucket of popcorn and you will get the scene right there.
That's right. Again, moving on, we have quite a bizarre and disturbing video. Actually, I'll add, because it's very disturbing, so we're not going to show you the video. But it shows a baby, a heavily deformed toddler, you know, a thick white skin, almost looks like a mechanic, you know, robotic. And the eyes are almost not visible. They're very swollen and red, and so are the lips. And the baby looks like he's in pain, you know, in the video. And there's a lot of people surrounding the baby, and baby's lying on the ground on some kind of a towel. Now, the claim is that it's a demon baby who was born. And just before childbirth, this baby consumed the intestines of the mother who died at childbirth. And even a nurse who was holding the baby nearby also died. So, is this a demon baby?
Well, that's not a demon. We're actually seeing a really unfortunate incident being spun around with this claim. So the baby that was born with a really rare skin disease called harlequin ichthyosis. So the baby was suffering from this skin disease, and it has been unfortunately peddled as the baby being a demon. So viewers, please express discretion and be cautious about such claims.
Okay, so no demon babies.
No demon babies, please.
There's another story that became very viral. It was even picked up by Times Now.
Yes.
And it's apparently about a Saudi man who's buying a gift for his son. He wanted some toy aircrafts, but he didn't know which one to buy, and he accidentally ended up buying two Airbus A350 for more than 300 million euros. Now, you know, can you accidentally just spend 300 million euros? Is this something Saudi people do?
Well, you could. There is no stopping that. But in this particular case, it is 100% pure out of the book satire. So, Thin Air Today's founder actually spoke to us and told us that he's just someone who is an aviation enthusiast. He's doing what he's doing just for the fun of it. And this is satire. Please do not fall for this as real news.
Yeah, that's true. Now up next, I'm sure you have not forgotten Wing Commander Abhinandan Varthaman, who crashed in Pakistan just after the skirmish that happened after Balakot airstrike. Now, just before Abhinandan was released by Pakistan back to India, this video went viral, claiming that it shows Abhinandan dancing with Pakistani soldiers and pilots. Is that true?
Okay.
You can see, look
he's having such a nice time.
Yeah, he's having such a nice time.
Absolutely. But again, this is not true for two reasons. Number one, none of the people in the picture actually resemble Abhinandan Varthaman. And we're already aware of all the video that has come out of Pakistan where he is conversing with Pakistani officials, and of the video where he's crossing the border into India. So this is definitely from there. And secondly, this video has been on the internet since before the Balakot incident, since before the Pulwama Balakot interim. So this shows that it's clearly not Wing Commander Abhinandan dancing in Pakistan.
Now, we did this roundup of all the bizarre claims, and I'm sure a lot of you thought, it's unbelievable, but some people do believe it. And fake news always targets you at places, where your pre-existing beliefs or your prejudice might, lead you to believe in such things. So it's not always about, like internet literacy or digital literacy. So whenever you fall for something, whenever you start believing in something, question yourself, ask whether your pre-existing belief have any reason for you to believe that, or is it completely based on fact that you believe in certain information that you're given. And always have these questions while you're processing information. And that's very important in keeping the cyberspace clean, because before you share out anything else.
You need to just think twice, verify, and know that what you're sharing is absolutely genuine.
Exactly. And we are telling this to you now because we would like to begin the new year on a very clean note, where we all strive to at least not, intently, purposefully share fake news, and try to at least, learn new verification tools, new verification methods, personal methods that you can kind of imbibe in yourself in daily life when you're receiving all these media on WhatsApp, Facebook, and choose to very responsibly share these items further. With that, we shall wrap up this episode of Fact versus Fiction. And you know what to do. If you spot any fake news lying around on social media or WhatsApp, send it to us on our WhatsApp helpline number, which is 7700906111. And with that, we'd like to say thank you. Have a great new year. Happy New Year. Be responsible tonight. And, catch you later.